Hello sexy sim racers and welcome back to the Game of Muscle YouTube channel. In this video we're going to be talking specifically about the latest update to Assetto Corsa, which brings it to version 1.14. But even more specific than the specifics of the version number, we're going to be talking about the artificial intelligence updates, because really, though the Ready to Race pack is pretty fantastic, there's a backpack full of cars there, and there have been a lot of other changes to the game, the biggest improvement with this latest update is the AI changes. The AI has gone from, it's in the game and it's kind of okay, but about as exciting as watching Swindon Town football team play against Stoke City, to jumping off the Eiffel Tower and finding out that your parachute won't open exciting. That actually did happen in real life. Oh dear. But, as I say, now it's actually really good. The main difference is that once you actually pass an artificial car in the game now, it will keep attacking you and trying to get its position back, whereas previously the AI would sort of fall into a state of depression and basically give up racing. And then the AI behind that AI would do the same with the AI behind them, and you just end up with this bizarre, very expensive vehicular conga line. Now what happens, the AI will actually try and make moves on you. They will often get past you, but if you are ridiculously slow and you do make a really big effort of blocking cars behind you, you'll find that the car behind you can't get past you, which is only natural because they can't drive through you, but the car behind them will actually go and make a pass on them and then typically pass you as well. What this ends up doing is completely thwarts the expensive conga line situation before, and now in general you just get far more organic racing. You get situations where you're pushing for the car in front, you might make a mistake, but then you're pressured from behind and you have to pull it back, and it's just way more convincing. And in general, it's not that dissimilar at times to racing on a public server with reasonably skilled drivers. Now, with the update to the AI, a big change as well is that there's a slider setting for the AI difficulty, the AI aggression, and then a randomizer, which I think just fluctuates the skill level and aggression between the different cars at random. Now you can put that to 0, completely negating that slider, but putting it on a bit just spices things up a bit. It's like throwing a stick of dynamite into a herd of cows. A question you might then ask yourself, what settings should I use when it comes to the aggression and the difficulty? Well, fortunately, Game of Muscle doesn't have much of a life at this point in time, and he spent a lot of the day trying out different vehicles with different settings. And the results of this intensive scientific inquiry are that if you're driving slower vehicles like the Crossbow, Porsches, the Lotus 311, which is fantastic, that's one of the new DLC cars, anything that's basically not a ridiculously fast race car or Formula vehicle, you can slap the aggression onto 100%, and everything's hunky-dory, because you need that aggression in the AI for them to actually make a pass, and they seem perfectly happy with it. However, if you're going to be driving Formula vehicles, any of the Formula 1 cars, the Lotus 125, or any car that's really getting on that trousers are gonna be brown by the end of the race type speed, you will want to probably put the aggression on around about 75%, because if you don't, what we found happening with the Lotus 125, for example, after we're testing it, is that the AI will tend to make cuts on certain corners and moves, which then cause them to lose control of the vehicles and generates ginormous pile-ups. It's basically Pastor Maldonado simulator, though every single car has been is a Pastor Maldonado clone. Not a good situation and a very expensive form of racing, though maybe Kunos sucked his soul out and put it in the game. It's quite authentic. Now I've got to be British for a second and of course state that AI is AI. It's not racing against people, and to be honest, AI from a programming perspective is pretty much as complex as tire models and general physics when it comes to difficulty of doing something that's convincing. I think Kunos have done an incredible job, and I definitely think the AI is now up there with some of the other driving simulators at the best of times when it's working. But it does obviously have its the traditional AI problems. You'll find on certain circuits the Red Bull Ring is an especially good circuit for braking AI. When you've got really tight corners that are generally follow-through corners, or corners with certain undulations that are, again, follow-through corners but require clever use of car balance and certain types of braking, those corners do still tend to cause issues with AI, and you will find the AI braking in places where no human ever would. But if you accommodate for that and you account for the fact that AI isn't perfect, what I found to be most enjoyable, and what now has actually reinvigorated the general single player of this game and will probably get me playing a lot of the vehicles that I otherwise wouldn't drive, is if you start at around 10th place or so on the grid, don't bother doing a qualifying, that's ridiculous, just jump straight onto the track in 10th place, set the AI at around about 95% difficulty. As I say, if they're slow cars, put them 100% aggression. If they're faster form of vehicles, put them on around about 75. And do a 10 or so lap race and see if you can get to the front of the grid. And what I found with this setup is, sure, it's not emulating a proper full-length race, and it's not emulating many aspects of racing that you get from racing against people on sim racing system leagues or iRacing type structures, but you get something that's really enjoyable, and a really good way of training yourself to drive consistently, and consistently under pressure, and consistently whilst trying to catch up with the guy in front, make a move on them, and stay focused. And I think that's just really good. I think there's actually something there now in the Kunos Assetto Corsa AI that makes it fundamentally enjoyable, and even for those of you that tend to just do online racing, there's now something in the single player that will give you enjoyment, a challenge, and just side-by-side situations, and generally enjoyable racing. So all in all, just a fantastic job by Kunos. They've totally hit it out of the park with this update in terms of the AI. Now, the AI is not the only part of the game that's been updated. They have got a whole list of other things, but we'll cover them in a separate video. This video was just me rubbing honey all over the body of the lads at Kunos in Mazzoni. You know, after all this positivity and expended honey, I'd expect by now they'd send me one of their nice Kunos jumpery jacket things. Maybe you have to work there to get one of them. They should have them on the store. They do look really nice, and it'd be awesome. You know, you could walk into town wearing your Kunos jacket and everybody would wonder what you're wearing, and you could tell them all about sim racing, and the ladies would be throwing themselves at you. It's exactly how it would happen. Well, on that note, and a somewhat bizarre tangent, I hope this video was enjoyable for you guys. If you haven't yet and you've got nothing better to do, indeed, click on the subscribe button and subscribe to the channel to keep up to date with more sim racing content, virtual reality content, and general high quality game content. Well, that's like what I like to tell myself anyway. Drop questions in the comments, of course, and we've also got a Twitch channel, which many of you, of course, know, but some of you won't, so that's why I've said it. Until the next video, which will be very soon, thanks for watching, and well done, Kunos, and goodbye, everybody else.